Cassie made $30 million, right? Then she turned around and now somebody trying to sue her for that same $30 million.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
By a sex worker.
By a sex worker. Said that she gave him, I forget what she said she gave him. Some kind of STD. It's a lot of things people didn't understand about this case. Like, the whole time when all of this stuff was going on, I was expecting them to say, hey, Puff was at a sex party and, they saw somebody touching his butt or something like that. Or he was actually active and involved in what was going on with these male sex workers. When I heard them say male sex workers, the next thing I was listening for was, was he involved in this? And I'm waiting on one of them to say, yeah, Puffy did this, and they never said it. And they said that he would just sit and masturbate, right? So what's the real reason why he didn't get involved? That's what I wanted to know. There was a lot of things about this case that didn't feel right. Like, I think they asked him for his health records, his health records. I believe that was brought up, and they wanted to look at, his health records, and we never heard any more about that. Because I wanted to hear them say if there's anything wrong with him. Why are you not participating in these things? Like, some people may not do it because they can pass something on to someone else. And if you pass it on to someone else, then you're going to have the same similar case with Cassie now and the male worker that's saying that she gave him something. Just think about how many people may have said, Puffy, and if she gave him something and Puffy was with her, then who gave it to her? Was it hit or miss? Hit this one, miss this one? You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things that we wanted to hear. I wanted to hear more about his health records. See what was going on with him.
That's pretty crazy that we never heard anything about that. Did he never? I think a lot of people were surprised too, man, that Diddy never really hooked up with any guys. And we've heard all these stories about people saying that Diddy has hit on them and Diddy tried to hook up with them and all this stuff. And, during the trial, we just heard a lot of weird stuff. We didn't really hear about
stuff. Who wants to know about him putting rubbing and stuff on his man nipples?
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, that might have been the worst thing I heard of the whole trial, if that was true. And I'm like, damn. Well, did she say that they went into another room and that's when he put the man juice on his nipples?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe she said she used to have to get it and then, run with it to the other room to give it to Diddy.
Right. And nobody ever saw that happen.
Right.
So what's the chances of it? I mean, if it did happen, I guess it did if they saying it did, but good God, only Puffy knows if he put the man juice on his nipples. Man. I don't even see the purpose in it. I don't, what's all the baby oil for? Use the baby oil. All that baby oil, you got to use these men juices? That didn't make sense.
Baby oil would be a better option.
It would be, and it doesn't seem so weird. You'd be like, Puffy put baby oil on his chest. Pretty self-explanatory, nothing wrong with that. But when you take man juice and rub it in like this.
What's good, y'all? This OB Media. Mark Curry goes crazy and he goes off Diddy. He said that Diddy is weird and Diddy is a freak because no way you're gonna take a next man juice and rub it on your nipples. Diddy is just some weird ninja. So a lot of people are saying none of the male escorts said that they hooked up with Diddy. I believe that some of these male escorts are lying, man, because Diddy got so much money in the world and he's not gonna pay for butt. Diddy always getting freaky. He's gonna get what he want because he always take that. He's a real bad boy. Man, Diddy is the freak of the century, man. I don't know why would you rub cum on your nipples? A next man cum. That is just nasty to me, but it is what it is, man. You need to watch a full video. Let's get it.
That ain't right, man. That ain't right, man.
Something a little off for sure.
Something ain't right, but
I seen that Diddy is selling his LA mansion.
Yeah, he was trying to sell that joint, the $61 million joint, right?
Yes.
How much they was trying to sell it for last? 20 million, right?
Well, let me check.
Yeah. You should, I think it was another thing that came across that said Diddy was trying to sell his $60 million mansion in Los Angeles. He had it on the market for like $20 million. Why? He was trying to liquidate his assets, try to get rid of it because he has so much going on. Now remember, he has a lot of civil suits going on. Did you see 50 Cent when he sued somebody who used to work for him and took their house?
I seen that. They stole money from him though. I believe it was like $3 million they stole from him.
Yeah.
And then the house was worth $1 million. I believe it's something like that.
Yeah. But you see, he sued him back and got that man's house. So you understand, yeah, Cam. You know, when he comes home, a lot of people feel like, yeah, I think when he come home, he's just going to have to be a good guy. You know, something changed. You know, what I always say is this, Cam, is what we just noticed is I had to, part 2 of my book, I call it Say Goodnight to the Bad Guy. Because what actually just happened was a character assassination, and that bad guy is no longer here. Puffy is no longer the bad guy no more. You know, that's the end of that right there. Now he has to reinvent himself in order to become something else after he gets home. Bad guy's out of here.
Diddy's been powerful, since the 90s. So all this has to be extremely kind of different and weird for him, being that he's not going to ever be as powerful as he was. And, you know, he probably never thought nothing like this could ever happen to him.
See, at this point, it was a time where Diddy couldn't go to the mall before. And he used to tell me he couldn't go to the mall because if he go into a store, the security have to come get him out because they would, you know, people would bombard the store, rush it. But now, after this, he can go to the mall now. He can go to Walmart. You know, it ain't, people are not going to be on him like that. They might say, there goes Puffy. You know, and he might not even want to be seen because a lot of people might have jokes. You know, a lot of females are going to want to probably attend his freak off party too. He might sell out freak off parties after this. His freak off parties. Everybody want to go to his freak off party. You know?
So wait, are you saying that this was just one big promotion for his freak off parties?
Sounds like it to me. And he got in trouble for over freaking.
Over freaking. Okay.
He was freakish. You know what I'm saying? He OF'd. OD freak. He overdosed on freaking off. You know what I'm saying? But, man, I'm thinking they calling them freak offs. I thought those were sex parties. Freak off, if you ask me freak off, when you think of the word freak off, you would think people is doing something a little bit more freakier than what that putting the man juice on nipples, that's freaky. That's freaky.
We never heard about like you said, like a sex party, like where there was like 5 or 6 people. You know, it was just always Cassie hooking up with a guy and him watching.
Right. And then there was like all these parties, and the only thing you see, I'm like, well, every time they showed there's no way for you to have an all-white party and a freak off, because if it's everybody would be naked. If the way that they described it was like you just walk in, get naked, and go sit, put some oil on it, slick yourself down, and have a seat. And just keep hollering at girls and stuff when you see the ones you like. Hey, you want to do some freaky stuff with me? That's where I was thinking of, you know, but how in the world can they call it a freak off and every picture that they had was everybody had on white clothes? I said, what the hell is this? Kind of freaky stuff is this? Dancing on a big bed. See, in my book, what I noticed was that yard that he had with the white sofas and all of that, the TVs and all that in the back. If you read my book, when we went to Africa and we stayed and we went to Morocco And when we went to the King's Palace, you could do anything you wanted on the King's Palace. You can have sex without being married to a person at the King's Palace. But once you went back to your hotel, you couldn't even sleep in the same room with a woman if you wasn't married to her, or if they didn't have their own room book. But that yard and how he had those couches and everything positioned out there, that's the same exact way the king in Africa's house was. And so I saw it. It's the same exact setup. And whatever they was doing at the King's Palace is exactly what he was doing at his house. So I think he learned that from someone too.
We never seen all the co-conspirators that I think that we were supposed to see. I mean, they gave him a RICO, and I believe that the RICO was all the people that testified against him. We're supposed to be the co-conspirators, but all those guys got free passes. They all got, like Cassie. I mean, she was in on this stuff just as much as him, but she's not doing any jail time at all.
Right, because she's the whistleblower, literally whistleblower. She blew the whistle. Yeah.
What do you think made Diddy so powerful?
What made him so powerful is how much stuff he took from other people. How much whatever else belongs to other people do he have? A lot. You know? Just another example. If Cassie had a 10-year recording contract, if I'm not mistaken, it was 10 years, and he gave her what, $30,000 a month? Right? Something like that. Don't quote me on it, but I think that's what they said. Now, $30,000 a month times 12 months is how much money?
$360,000.
$360,000? Yeah. That's $30,000 times 12 months. She got a record deal, so he's still spoon feeding her. You understand? It's like you know. Imagine making $500,000 a year and hanging out with Puff. You're gonna blow all your money in about a month. $500,000 is not enough to hang out with Puff. You're gonna go broke.
How much have you seen him spend at one time? What's the most?
I never really seen him spend a whole bunch of bread like that, except for this. Puff didn't even carry money. He didn't have no money. You could ask Puff for $10. He wouldn't even know what that was. When you get $10, he don't know what that is. He don't know what $50. He don't know what it's like. He probably, even if you say, man, I'm hungry, he don't know that. You know, some people will think that everybody should be eating. You know, there's no reason, like, I can't imagine nobody not eating. That's probably how he thinks, but he doesn't know some people are not eating. He just may not get it because he's always eating. Everybody around him has been eating, except for the ones that really worked hard to help him become who he is. Those are the ones that didn't eat.
So you say that Diddy stole from everybody. So you're talking like publishing and songs and
record
things that
deals.
actually...
Yeah.
Record deals.
Just think if you got 10 artists and Arista, you sign the Arista Interscope, and then they give you a deal for 10 artists. How much money you think they're going to be gonna give you for that?
Quite a bit. Millions.
Pop millions, 30, 50, 100. So then once he gets that, if he don't never drop the album on him, like, I never got an album, then where did the money go?
Right. So a lot of people don't know. Like, I've heard a lot of people got screwed like this. They'll get signed to somebody. Like, I had a friend who told me he got signed to Akon. Mm-hmm. Well, the record label gave Akon the money for his album, but Akon blew that money on something else, and his album never came out.
Yeah, that's the same. That's kind of like my situation too. Like, I didn't get a chance to get that album because, like I told you, Francesca Spiro said, and she told me before she quit that I wasn't going to have an album. She told me, she was like, Mark, and let me tell you this, you're never going to have an album. You don't have a budget. I said, well, where's the budget? She said that budget has been gone. So that's the reason why. if you remember, Puff, I believe, got in trouble when he did the Bad Boy for Life video because he took everybody's money and put it into that album.
Okay, so that was supposed to, so instead of doing a collaboration album, he was supposed to do solo albums for everybody because you were on the main single.
Yeah. Yep. We should have had solos like right after that song, after that Bad Boy for Life. I should have had an album coming out right then because it was my time. I was hot. The world was checking for me, but I didn't get that album. You know, I recorded a song when I go to the studio to record a song. I just didn't even know my budget was out of there like that.
A lot of people probably get in the music business and they don't even really know they don't even know that this is possible to happen.
Yeah. I mean, and you have artists that you have no intentions on ever releasing these artists' album. You just want the Arista, Interscope, somebody to give you a big old check, and then now you asking, how does Puff get so powerful? There it is right there. You know, but he don't have a job no more. He doesn't work for Ciroc no more, right?
I believe Ciroc dropped him, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't have a job with them anymore. Because that's what he really had a job with them. But I think he got fired.
They ended their business relationship in 2024 following a legal dispute. Combs had partnered with the company to market Ciroc vodka in 2007 with an initial 50-50 profit split, but now that company is the sole owner of Ciroc.
Right. Remember, in the case, what happened was they were supposed to have been growing agave or something for him, right? And they never grew the agave. The agave, you know, the stuff that was supposed to go in the tequila. Look that up. His beef is they didn't have the agave.
That was it, and that caused them to break up their whole deal.
I just don't think he couldn't produce. You understand? That, and then also when he said that they discriminated against him, which is, you got to peep the case. He said that they discriminated against him and they wouldn't allow his liquor to be on certain shelves, like Don Julio and all of those other liquors they sponsor. They didn't market Ciroc or DeLeon, however it was going, like they did other liquors, right? So he gets upset and he says it's discrimination, right? And when you thought about it, you say, how in the world could he say it's discrimination when he's been discriminating? He discriminated against everybody. You know, even Francesca Spiro before she left Bad Boy. Rest in peace to Francesca Spiro. She's no longer with us. After she left Bad Boy, I believe she sued him for discrimination as well. She sued him for discrimination because he fired her and said that she was too old, I believe, to do the job or whatever. So she sued him. And then he turned around and said the company discriminated against him. I want to say he discriminated against me because my album never made the shelf. So while you're complaining about them not putting your marketing and putting your alcohol, three things. He gonna get mad because they not making his liquor more accessible for us to buy and get drunk. Like he wants them to promote more liquor to us, you know, to people. That to me, that wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? You know, people like your alcohol, let them just go get it from, you don't have to say, you know, I definitely, like, you can't promote that kind of stuff, I think. You know, alcohol kills. Just imagine how many people died drinking Ciroc. Think about how many people went into a party that may have passed out or died drinking Ciroc. So, you know, that's something that happens.
Well, it says right here that the company refuted the claims of discrimination and stated that Combs breached their partnership agreement.
Mm-hmm. And if you know, just imagine when he went into Uptown. When he went into Uptown Records, talking about, think he was just unstoppable, untouchable. That's when he came up with Bad Boy around that time. So, just imagine how he was going into that Ciroc office and tripping there. Like, because he thought he was bigger than the actual brand.
Too freaky for this industry, man. He was getting out of hand with the freaky shit. He was doing all type of freak off. He was getting male escorts with BBC so that they can bang his chick and he be directing that shit. Man, Mark Curry is really on his exposing in this one. He said that Diddy robbed all of his artists, take all of their money and all of their budget. That's why a lot of Diddy artists don't got an album. Diddy been robbing them dry for a long time, man. And when Diddy realized that he's gonna go to jail, he tried to give back everybody their publishing. So Diddy know what he was doing, and he was a real sucker. He was doing all type of unreasonable stuff. So we had to hold this ninja accountable. He was just wilding at the moment, man. And when he go against that liquor company, that is where everything come crashing down for the diddler. He tried to challenge some group of billionaires, and they are the one that put you in a position so that you can make a lot of money. You can't play with people like this, man. So I understand why Clive Davis can't defend Diddy. Because Clive Davis got power, but Diddy is trying to play with some big boys, some real shot callers. So that's why Diddy had to go to jail. And when Diddy go against that liquor company, his house got raided, the Cassie video came out, and then Cassie got to get some money. So that shit been going on for a long time. Diddy been putting his hands on females. So you heard a lot of gay rumors about Diddy sleeping with rappers, all type of rumors, man, that Diddy like butt. Because Diddy and Meek Mill be wearing matching clothes, Meek Mill in Diddy pool, and he calling him daddy. Man, French Montana sitting in Diddy's lap. All type of gay shit, man, been going on for a long time that people was not talking about. So a lot of people are saying that they never heard that any of the male escorts was having sex with Diddy. I believe that some of these ninjas was getting freaky with Diddy, man, because that shit was just still gay to me. That cuckold activity and Diddy be directing that shit, that is just crazy to me, man. That have to be gay. So I believe that some of these male escorts did gay activities with Diddy behind closed doors that they're not talking about, because Diddy is a homosexual closet type of person. He don't want no one to know that he's gay. He will kill you for a shit like that. You can't play Puff like that, man. So Puff is a homosexual closet gay. He don't want to come out of the closet. He want to stay unknown. But everyone know that Diddy have to be gay. Why would you say scramble and scrape for shit? You deserve it, daddy. Man, come party with me, fab. So all of that shit been going on for a long while, and everyone got to realize that most of these billionaires are just gays and some wicked type of people, because Diddy was just cruel. He did everybody wrong. So he need the treatment that he's getting now, because he's a sucker. But it is what it is, man. It's OB Media. Have a blessed day.
Disgusting. This male escort says, of all the things Howard allegedly witnessed during his time with Diddy and Cassie, one thing stood out to him as the strangest. Quote, the weirdest thing was they used to physically collect my spooge in a cup. Hey, Mrs. Barbie, they collected my, he uses the S-E to the E, S-E-M to the E to the N word. They collected my spooge for like a year. At one point, the escort asked Diddy about the creepy collection, and the disgraced mogul gave an explanation. He told me, I like to see her play with it and drink it. What's wrong with that? Diddy told the escort. I was like, to each his own. But after that, they never asked me about it again. They never collected it. Oh my God. In episode 4 of the new Diddy documentary, producer Lil Rod claimed that Diddy's son, Justin Combs, was present at a freak-off. They'll be doing these freak-offs, he says, and it'd be Puff and Justin in the room with multiple women. Closed doors and lots of music and lots of